Hey, it's Steph giving you some options for stretching through the hips in a safe, sustainable way and how you can incorporate that into your yoga practice. So we're gonna start from a tabletop position and taking your hands just slightly out in front of your shoulders, maybe taking your knees a little wider if you need to, and just finding some mini hip circles. So this could be super small, just small circles around, or you could start to make this a little bit bigger. So making this as big as you need to, listen to your body, work within your range of mobility that is safe for your hips. And then switch and go the opposite direction. Inhale and exhale. One more here. And then coming back to that tabletop, you can walk your hands underneath a little bit if you'd like. Send your right leg back. Inhale, and as you exhale, soften your elbows, hug that knee in. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, draw it in. Connect to your breath and whatever inhale and exhale you want. So whether you want to reverse it, exhaling out, inhaling in, do one more wherever you're at, and step your right foot towards your right hand. Now from here, I would encourage you to grab some blocks. These could be actual yoga blocks or just something to prop your hands up on. Now notice here that my back knee is still underneath my hip, so I'm not leaning way forward because I don't want to hyperextend through the hip joint. So I'm just stacking the knee under the hip, and then same with the front leg. I'm not pushing super far forward and I'm not leaning way far back. So just finding that neutral position here. And then if you want, you could, if you have blocks or something underneath your hands, you could take them up a little taller. You could come down a little lower. So you're starting to feel a little bit of a stretch without overstretching the joint itself. So I'm actually starting to feel this more in the hamstring and then up into the hips. So from here, you could find a little movement side to side. Maybe you're leaning to the outside, so you can see I'm leaning to the outside of that foot a little bit. So I'm gonna feel that stretch on the outside of the leg and glutes. And then from here, I'm gonna take my left hand, either on the block or on the mat, and I'm gonna rotate it open towards the right knee. From here, I'm gonna circle sweep that arm down and around. Again, keeping the hips in a healthy range of motion, opening up through the shoulder, bending, softening, and extending, opening. Do one more, and then reach through the arm, maybe taking it up, maybe overhead, maybe hand to your hip, your low back, adding a little rotation. And then coming back to center. From here, take the hands off the blocks, come up into your low lunge. And then as we exhale, rotate towards the front knee and just pressing the arms out or maybe up, finding any variation through the arms. Inhale back to center, and as we exhale, gently let the hips slightly rotate open towards the left. And then from here, letting the arms, again, find any placement that you'd like them to go. Maybe you want to move through it, finding a little flow. And then if you'd like, maybe taking the right arm on the right leg, circle sweeping the left arm, or bringing the arm back behind. So adding a little rotation into that hip stretch. And then slowly coming back down to center. And then sending it back to that tabletop. Just finding a little neutrality in between, releasing through the hips, maybe swaying through the spine. And then slowly coming back to center. And then from here, just doing a little rock forward and back. So sending the hips back, reaching the arms out. Inhale, and as you exhale, waving the spine forward, finding your plank on the knees. Inhale, and as you exhale. Without dumping into the hips or into the belly, just finding that release. Inhale, exhale. This time, hold your plank on the knees. We're gonna slowly lower all the way down to our belly. blocks out of the way for now. From here, take the arms out wide, rest your head to the left side, and if you'd like, bend your knees and just find a little drop through the feet, side to side. Just releasing through the low back, through the hips. Slowly bringing the hands in, relaxing the legs. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, press back to plank. And then either walking your knees in or walking your hands back from your tabletop. Shake it out a little bit, neutralize. And then inhale, sending the left leg back. Exhale, hug it in. Connect to your breath. Last one here, hug in and step that left foot towards your left hand. Again, grab your blocks here if you'd like. Just finding that little rock here, forward and back. Again, back knees under the hip. So I'm not overextending one way or the other. And then maybe taking the blocks up a little higher. You could come onto the forearms. Maybe you want to drop to the outside of the foot. Or you just keep that slow motion forward and back. So what we're really trying to do here is get into the muscle and out of the joint to the ligaments. So instead of just hanging out in our hips, we want to engage and find some movement so that we can fire up through the muscles. From here, coming up, take your right hand under your shoulder and rotate open towards the left. Finding that circle sweep down and around. Inhale and exhale. One more time, reaching through that top arm, either reaching up or overhead, or maybe hand to your hip. Coming back to center, slowly roll up through the center and rotate towards the left knee, and take the arms wherever you'd like. Maybe finding a variation. And you can switch up your gaze too, to stretch through the neck. Inhale back to center, let the hips gently open up towards the right side and take the arms out or up. And then taking your left arm onto your left leg, maybe finding that side angle stretch from here in that little lunge position, reaching up or back or behind or overhead. Inhale back to center and exhale, bring it back down. Send it back to tabletop. And again, sending the hips back. Inhale, exhale, wave the spine forward, finding your plank on the knees. Inhale back, exhale, wave forward. One more time. Find your plank. Inhale as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down. This time, slide your arms out and take your gaze over to the right. Resting here, and again, if you'd like, bend the knees and just find that little drop through the feet, side to side. Coming back to center, rest the legs. Take a few breaths here. Drawing the hands in. Inhale as you exhale, engage through the core, press back through that plank. Walk your hands back. And that is a flow that you can use for stretching and strengthening through the hips.